Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Spoilers. Molly gets wind of Sonny's beatdown and Kristina's broken heart. But will she tell TJ or the DA? General Hospital. Spoilers report Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vaganos, is being kept in the dark, but not for long. Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bennard, brutally attacked Dex Heller, Even Hofer, in the aftermath of Brooklyn Quartermain's Amanda Seton. Wedding to Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard. And unfortunately, Kristina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, was there to bear witness to the horrific event. Trying to come to terms with how blind she's been when it comes to her father, Kristina is hesitant to tell her sister what happened since Molly is the assistant district attorney. But when Molly hears it from someone else, she's going to have questions for her sister, starting with why she didn't think it was important to tell her and TJ Ashford, Taj Fellow, about the trauma she endured, given that she's pregnant with their baby. General Hospital spoilers. Molly Lansing Davis learns the truth. Admittedly, it would be best for Molly to hear about this from her sister, but she's not going to pretend she doesn't know why Kristina didn't call her right away. Her job puts her in a compromising position where she may have to report anything illegal to the authorities, even if she's hearing it from someone else. At the same time, it might sting that Kristina didn't feel she could call on her in her time of need just because she works for the state prosecution. Spoilers. Kristina Corinthos Davis is full of apologies. Kristina might be kicking herself after her sister confronts her about the attack at the hands of her father, but she'll also be pretty darned embarrassed that she held on to this pristine and ethical image of her father for so long in the face of so much evidence to the contrary. Still, Molly is a fairly understanding sister and knows how to keep her family life separate from her professional life. However, that doesn't mean she won't be required and compelled to tell DA Robert Scorpio, Tristan Rogers, what she knows, and that her sister was a witness. Will she give in to her own code of ethics? General Hospital spoilers. The DA is different from TJ Ashford. One might think that if Molly tells Robert about the attack, she would obviously tell TJ, because he would find out anyway when the case was in the press and going to court. But there's a chance she's going to leave this ball in Dex's court, as Kristina intends to do. If that's the case, she won't be tattling on Sonny to her boss. And she won't be telling TJ about it either, knowing he would insist they report it to the police. TJ hasn't wanted Kristina anywhere near Sonny during her pregnancy, and this experience could give him more leverage to force that opinion. Kristina wants her own autonomy to decide where her relationship with her father stands. Will Molly hold the line between them and keep this a secret as long as Dex wants to? Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to find out. Molly Lansing Davis was sitting in the dimly lit corner of Charlie's pub, nursing a cup of coffee and trying to focus on her laptop screen. Legal briefs and case files were sprawled out before her, a testament to the long hours she'd been putting in at the DA's office. She was deep in thought, her mind running through the intricate details of her latest case, when she overheard a conversation that made her blood run cold. Two men at the bar were talking in hushed tones, but Molly's keen ears caught every word. They were discussing Sonny Corinthos, and from what she could piece together, he had been involved in a brutal altercation. Her heart sank as she realized the severity of the situation. The beatdown sounded bad, and worse, it involved Kristina. Molly's first instinct was to call TJ, her boyfriend, and share the news. But as she reached for her phone, she hesitated. TJ was already worried about her taking on too much stress with her demanding job. Besides, this wasn't just some neighborhood gossip. It was deeply personal and could have legal ramifications. Telling TJ might put him in a difficult position, and she didn't want to burden him with that. As she pondered her next move, her mind raced with questions. How was Kristina holding up? Who had attacked Sonny and why? And most importantly, what was she going to do about it? Molly decided to start by checking on Kristina. She packed up her things and left the pub, heading straight for Kristina's apartment. The sun was setting as she arrived, casting long shadows across the quiet street. She knocked on the door and waited, her heart pounding in her chest. Kristina answered the door, her eyes red and puffy from crying. Molly's heart ached at the sight of her sister in such distress. "Kristina, what happened?" Molly asked, pulling her sister into a comforting embrace. Kristina sniffled and wiped her eyes. "It's a mess, Molly. Sonny got into a fight, a really bad one. I'm scared and I don't know what to do." Molly guided Kristina to the couch and sat down beside her. "Tell me everything. Start from the beginning." As Kristina recounted the events leading up to the altercation, Molly listened intently, piecing together the story. Sonny had been dealing with some unsavory characters, and it had escalated into violence. Kristina had tried to intervene, but it only made things worse. She felt responsible for the fallout, and the weight of that guilt was crushing her. Molly took a deep breath, trying to steady her own nerves. "Kristina, this isn't your fault. You did what you thought was right. We'll figure this out together." Kristina nodded, but the look in her eyes was still one of deep despair. But what if Sonny gets into more trouble? What if the police get involved? Molly knew that was a very real possibility. As a lawyer, she was all too aware of how quickly situations like this could spiral out of control. She needed to be smart about her next steps. "Kristina, I need you to trust me. I'm going to do everything I can to help. But I need to know, do you want me to involve the DA's office?" Kristina's eyes widened in fear. "No, please. That would make everything worse. Just keep this between us for now." Molly nodded, though she felt a pang of uncertainty. She wanted to respect her sister's wishes, but she also knew that keeping secrets could lead to more trouble down the line. As she left Kristina's apartment, Molly's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. She knew she needed to speak with Sonny directly to get his side of the story and understand the full scope of the situation. But she also needed to decide whether to inform the DA's office or keep this matter private. The next morning, Molly made her way to Sonny's house. The tension in the air was palpable as she approached the front door. She knocked firmly, her resolve steeling as she waited for an answer. Sonny himself opened the door, his face bruised and his expression guarded. "Molly, what are you doing here?" Molly squared her shoulders, meeting his gaze head-on. "Sonny, we need to talk. It's about what happened with you and Kristina." Sonny's eyes darkened, but he stepped aside, allowing her to enter. They sat down in the living room, the atmosphere thick with unspoken words. "Molly, I appreciate your concern, but this is something I need to handle on my own," Sonny said, his voice strained. "I understand that, Sonny, but Kristina is scared and hurt. She feels responsible, and I can't just stand by and do nothing." Molly replied, her voice firm. Sonny sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It's complicated. The people I'm dealing with, they're dangerous. I don't want to put anyone else in harm's way." Molly leaned forward, her eyes locked onto his. "Sonny, you're already in harm's way, and so is Kristina. I can help, but I need to know the truth. All of it."